I am excited tonight. We're talking about black men and the things they do and do well. We are here tonight. I'm here with Stacy Heading. We're waiting for Albie Rambough. And we have some good stuff for you this evening. So I'm going to start with, first of all, I am Annette. I am your host. Welcome to Coaching You for You. Please see us on Facebook and YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and on YouTube, please subscribe. We've got something to tell you. I'd like to introduce Stacy Heading. He's a friend of mine, and he is here tonight to talk about, as a black man, how he jumps, how he gets it done, how he overcomes obstacles, and what it's like in his skin. And so first we're going to begin with the introduction. Stacy, you want to tell us a little bit about you? Go right ahead.
All right, how you doing, everyone? My name is Stacy Heading. Born in Trenton, but now lives in Philadelphia. Went to Trenton Central High School, attended DeVry University, and listen, I have a couple organizations that I'm a part of. I am the program director of SEED Male Mentoring Program. SEED stands for Servants Endeavoring to Empower and Develop. It's a program that mentor young men from the age of 10 years old up to 18, if you look at the application. But what ends up happening is we've been in for over the last 10 years, some of the young men graduated and went off to college, and then we find ourselves mentoring them through college or, through employment, whatever it is that they need us for. So, the age does not stop. Also, from the Seed Now Mentoring Program, we branched and did another thing called Heal the City. And that's great because we kind of work with the community and, bring in off-Broadway plays and cultural plays and private movie showings and, things like that in the community. So, and then our most signature thing is we do positive billboards and we highlight positive people in the community, mostly our youth, young people who are doing well, not just academically, but also volunteer work. And, if they're recommended just for being a good young man or a good young lady. And so these are some all the things I'm a part of. And then I'm full-time. I work at ISLES. I work in the school department, ISLES Youth Institute, where I work with at-risk youth.
Okay. Yeah. And SEED is one of my favorite programs.
Yeah.
My nephew and some of my other family members have had an opportunity to participate in SEED. And SEED does some wonderful things. Can you just tell us a little bit about some of the things you do with young men and women and what your goal is overall with them?
So, it's funny, interesting story, Annette, that I'm here and I'm talking to you about this because we have our upcoming virtual MLK breakfast this year. This is our 11th anniversary. We're going on 11 years doing this. But listen, whether, this would not have came into fruition if it wasn't for you. And I remember when we started about 12 years ago, we were going to nursing homes and we would just go in there and talk to the seniors about Dr. King, and we would allow them to tell their stories, and we would bring peace and have a peace party, and then we'll recite some of the things from Dr. King. But then one year, you had sold into us. You thought, you seen some of the work we were doing, and at that time, your nephew wasn't no one in the program that you knew, but you just believed in what it is that we were doing. So the money that you sold into us, I took it to the golf place, Mountain View Golf Course, and I said I want to do an MLK breakfast, a tribute. In our first year, we had like about 125 people, and our young men recited things from Dr. King, and we took off from there. And it's been like 11 years now. So I just want to publicly thank you for that and believing in us. And so my job now, I like to pay it forward. When people do these type of things for us, we like to also pay it forward. And so this is what we're doing with mentoring our young men. And that's what we do. We prepare them, character development, and get them ready for the world. And in it, we do college tours. And every year we go to Atlanta and we go to the HBCUs down south in Atlanta, and the young men have a good time. So it's just a host of things that we do.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I want to welcome Albie Rambough. Thank you. Albie, it's really good to have you here. I know that, this is a little difficult for you this evening because of some other things that we talked about earlier, but having you here is really, really important because, as Stacy just shared, you are Trenton, born and bred, and you have a family here, a huge family
Yes.
of the Ramboughs. I'm telling you, they're everywhere. And Samore is his cousin, Samore Rambough, a
My niece.
phenomenal, your niece.
Yes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies, Uncle Rambough.
That's okay.
Uncle Albie, apologies. And so, Samore is his niece, and she is one of the absolute. Uh-oh, we just lost our background, and that's quite all right. We're going to keep moving. One of the best comedians around. And so I just want to acknowledge that because she is absolutely a phenomenal woman. And so, Albie, thank you for being here. As I shared,
You're welcome.
Tonight is about positive inspiration for the Black man because he can jump. There have been so many obstacles in our community. Am I breaking up? Can you?
Yeah, you keep breaking up. You are breaking up.
Hold on for 1 second. I'm going to. Yep. I'm going to take a quick break here for a second to remove the screen completely because this is what's causing some of the difficulty. And until I get it completely out the way, it's going to be a problem. Something like this was going to happen tonight,
drink.
And it did, and it's okay.
Is it on the table?
Are some of the issues
That's all right. That's all right.
that we face when we're dealing with. So, Albie, we're live.
You're still breaking up in that.
It should help just a little bit.
You keep breaking up. I can't hear you.
So let's try it. How about now? Are we breaking up?
Nope. Still breaking up.
How we doing?
Breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Breaking up.
Okay. Let's see what we have.
Better.
How about
Better.
now?
Much better. Yes.
That's better?
Yep.
Better? Okay. All right, so let's go. The screen was in the way. And it's gone now so that it can't interfere. So, Albie, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I want to thank my audience for their patience. Samore is your niece. She's a phenomenal woman. She's doing phenomenal things. I want to be sure that both of you have something to hydrate and that we are prepared to go. So we're here tonight because we're talking about Black men can jump. And they can. They can jump over all of the obstacles that people throw at us to try to shut us down, to try to destroy our families, to try to destroy our opportunity and hope. We are working to ensure that the needs of the community are met, both with you and your family. So tell us a little bit about Stacy. Give me one example, and Albie, you can think about it while we're talking. One example of an obstacle that you had to overcome, and you did, and how you did it.
Oh man, let me see, which one do I want to choose? Because
Because
there
there's so many, right?
there are so many, and we just got to keep pressing through, like no matter what. You know what I mean? And we know that what God has for you is for you, and so when you know that, you keep on going. But I remember an obstacle, and I remember when and I was working in a pharmaceutical company over at Bristol Myers Squibb, and I had gotten
Mhm.
laid off. And when I first began to work for Isles, I had to um, go ahead and go in there and fill out my application and try to get on there. But I had no experience with working with young people and working at a school. But a good friend got me an interview there. And so I had to overcome some obstacles of just trying to get in and not giving me a chance because they didn't want, I think at the time, um, they were very kind of hesitant about another strong black man in there that can come in there and, really whip these kids into shape and take over, some of the situations. And so it was tough, and I had to overcome a lot of obstacles to get in. But I knew this is why I chose this, because I knew that I was destined to be there, growing up around the corner from there in North 25, to be in those children's life so they could see a positive black man. So I just kept on pressing until I overcame whatever barriers I had to go through to get there.
Okay. And before we move on, our guests are telling us that we have some background noise. So
Yeah, I think that's I
something's
think that's
breaking.
yeah, I think that's my brother. Albie, what's going on back there?
What's up, brother?
What's going on? You
Man,
got something going on back there?
no, I'm
The
cool over.
background.
I'm cool
We're
back here.
catching that background noise.
I don't have any over here.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's try to figure it out. Sister Smart, just keep me, it's like dishes are being washed, the noise.
It
And
might have been my
so
son. He was in the kitchen.
it's your son.
Yeah, he was in the kitchen.
Son Rambo, bring that down. We're talking about Black Men Can Jump. Thank you to our audience for making us aware of that. They can hear what I cannot. And so, tell us, you were at Bristol Myers Squibb. I've lost you.
Yep, because I went on mute. So I was at Bristol Myers Squibb, and then once I got laid off, I was able to just come back into the community and work at Isles right there around the corner where I grew up at. And sometimes it's hard for black men to come in these positions like that and to allow our young people to see strong black men, and be
Yes,
ready to put them in shape, whip them in shape, and people don't understand how you establish that relationship with them. But I am them. I come from where they come from, and I understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
so I had to
No
overcome a lot
noise.
to get there, but I'm there. And it's been 12 years. I celebrated my 12-year anniversary yesterday.
All right.
Yep.
Congratulations. I think one of the most difficult things is understanding that what people see in the media is not all of who we are.
Nope.
This platform is designed into the media, social media, and YouTube, and we're going to branch out over Apple and other platforms eventually. We're working on that, and it's important that we understand. We still got a little background noise here. It's interfering with the thing. So one of the things you guys might want to do is mute until you're talking. That'll help. And then that way, if there's background noise, you can silence it and prevent it from interfering with the podcast. And so, and thank you for that. I appreciate it. And so I think one of the biggest things is for us to help our audience understand that Black men need inspiration too. Black men need the lift up. Black men need and deserve the support of their community. So as we move forward in this podcast, tonight is just the beginning. We are going to talk about those things. We're going to share about how we do that. We're going to offer inspiration to Black men everywhere. As a Black woman who loves Black men, I'm going to be sharing my experience, strength, and hope as well. And so tonight is an introduction. I've known Albie forever. Forever. Wait a minute. I'm getting ready to tell ages here. Forget about that. I've known Albie for a long time. How about that? And Albie is from the community and has done a lot of work to help bring Black men along as well. And so tonight is about inspiring a Black man, making them understand and believe, and sending the message to the community that doesn't know us, think they know us through the media, that Black men can, they will, and they have jumped. They can jump over those hurdles. And solidarity is the key for us in any succession and strategic plan. And so, Albie, give us a shout out.
What's up, everybody? Can you hear me?
Celebrate.
Can you hear
What's
me?
Yes,
up, my man? We can hear
yes.
you clear. Yes.
All right. Well, as Annette know, my biggest problem was drug addiction, and I started my drug addiction about 14 or 15 years old. I didn't come out of it until I was 30, 31. So I celebrated 35 years clean in November.
Congratulations.
And, as drug addiction, like if you haven't never been there, you lose everything, your spirit, your family. And I think the worst thing that happened to me was I lost my family, my
Okay.
sisters, which is everything. And my wife left me with my daughters. So that was my bottom. And what happened was one night I went to all my sisters' house and they have never turned me down. And none of them would open the door.
Wow.
And at that point, it hit me like, for this, you sacrifice this, everything for this. And I got clean. And I moved to North Jersey and I met an Italian guy. He was working for his father in a trucking company. And me and him became friends and he gave me a job.
Mm,
And to this day, I just retired from that company
okay.
35 years later. And me and him are BFS, best friends. And
Forever.
forever. And for this and on this journey, when I was in North Jersey, I did a lot of HI work, community service. And till this day, I don't sponsor young men because a lot of the young men up here are not on drugs. They're just on attitude. And so I have like several guys that I get with and they come over and I take them to dinner and I try to guide these young men and show them what I went through. And
Okay.
they always say, Mr. Rambough, if you can go through that, then we can beat these streets. So, it
Right.
gives me inspiration. So this is what I do now, you know.
Yeah, beat those streets.
Beat the
Let's
street.
talk about
Just
that a little bit. Beat those
because
streets.
the streets is well, we make the streets the enemy because
Right.
it is our decision. But if we're not fed the right information at a younger age, like fatherless or motherless or broken homes, then we don't get that information that gives us that head up where most people get. So it takes brothers like me and Stacy and other brothers I know to be into these young men's life. and show
Yes.
them that there is hope, and show them that, listen, I didn't always drive a Mercedes. I didn't always wear nice clothes.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times they can't believe it. I have to show them pictures.
Right.
You know, weighing
Drug
98
addiction.
pounds.
Drug addiction is real.
It's real. It's real.
Drug addiction is real. Challenges are real. But when I tell you black men can jump,
Yes.
holler
High.
at me again. How many
High.
years?
High.
Huh?
How many years, Albie?
35.
35.
35 years of recovery. And
Unbelievable.
that is absolutely nothing to sneeze at. At some point, I'm going to get you on the podcast, tell your whole truth, and the truth. So help you God.
It's deep.
Because somebody has to hear that a lot of things happen. It's not what happened to us, it's how we deal with it.
True.
And
Right.
so I am grateful today that you, as well as many others with whom I am associated in love, found a new way of life,
Mm.
a whole new way of life.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. And so obstacles present. Black men have the weight of the world on their shoulders. They are faced with bigotry, hate. The door is blocked. The door is locked. We cannot afford, under any circumstances, to fight each other.
True.
The war for us, Stacy, is real.
Very.
But you know what I
Extremely.
noticed though, and that, and just my being, is that once I found out who I was, and I gained
Oh,
the confidence,
oh,
that was it. Because then I carried myself as in a way I belong, whether you think I do or not.
Right.
I
when you
belong.
remember who he was.
That's right.
Come
I
on.
belong. I am somebody.
Yes.
And I carried myself with my head up, with dignity and with grace and with
Yes.
respect. And I treated people in the manner in which I wanted to be treated.
Yes.
And it started knocking down doors.
Yeah.
Started knocking down all the obstacles, whether they were black, whether they were white. I wasn't dealing with prejudice no more. It just, for some reason, I think it was the spirit that made people say, wait a minute, not this one. He belongs. And by me being that way, I was able to bring other young brothers behind
Yes.
me.
Yes. It's that spirit of
Absolutely.
confidence.
That's right.
That spirit that projects when you walk in the room, your vibes shake the whole room.
You
And
know
they
me,
say,
Right.
Annette.
I belong here.
You know me, Annette. You know how I
Yes.
roll.
Yes.
That's how I
And
roll.
see, that is what the young people need to see and hear.
Yep.
You see
That's
how
Yep.
in
right.
your delivery, even when I'm talking to, it's the delivery. And
Mm-hmm.
when you deliver it to them like that, they begin to get the hope. They see it like, because everybody want hope, man. And when they see the obstacles of which you've overcome, and I always tell them you got to make some adjustments, man. That's what I do. I have to make adjustments. You look at
Mm-hmm.
things that start to look funny, and you have to make adjustments. And that's why, Albie, the past couple weeks I've been working on these personal workshops with young men on Saturdays and then like on a Thursday night because I
Right.
want to give them tools to put in the toolbox. A lot of them make mistakes and they don't even know what they're doing. When they walk out of that house in their community, they may just jump in a car with somebody. They're not really forward thinking about what can happen. And I've seen it too much because you know how? They're calling me from jail or they're calling me now that they're in a situation and
Mm-hmm.
we have to be reactive. And so I said, you know what? It's time for us to get proactive with our young men. Talk to them now and early. Give them the tools. Let them understand what is going on and deliver it in the way you just delivered it, Albie. It just inspired. And, it gave me goosebumps. And that's how we have to know. And that's how we have to talk to them. And then they believe. Then we start to show them how to treat your parents, and your mother, and while you're at home, and
Yes.
how to just
Yes.
be appreciative and say please and thank you. And that
Yep.
like you wake up one morning, I tell them, and they do this right. I'll say, When your mom make you breakfast before school, just look her in the eyes when you go downstairs and say, "Mom, I thank you for making this breakfast because you had to get up super early to do this, and I appreciate that." Just
Yeah,
little things. Just we
yeah,
appreciate you.
yeah. And also, one thing I learned about these guys is that they don't believe anyone cares.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't believe anyone, and they live in this little square, and all
Yep.
they know is that little square, from my house to the corner, to the drug dealer, to the 5 cent store, back to my house. Because I
Yep.
lived that. I lived that. So I understand them. So once I put my arm around them and show them I care, brother, and let me show you something. There's
Yeah,
more than this square. I
Yep.
take them on trips. I take them places. I buy them a hat. I buy them a pair of sneakers. And all something, it's like,
that's
you know, somebody care. And I like, listen, if you walk with your head down, people going to treat you like
yeah,
your head's down.
Yep.
that's right. Say it again. So
That's right.
let me tell you, that's what this podcast is all about. Giving the black man out there the experience, strength, and hope
That's right.
Right.
all the
That's
way
right.
across the board. Getting rid of that stinking thinking destroys us. No, let's take a look. Let's do a little shift here for a second. Washington, tonight,
Right.
okay? Every
Woo.
one of them should be charged as domestic terrorists.
Yep.
Same way they look at a black man that jaywalks, or a
Mm-hmm.
black man who looks strange. They better be looking at them.
Right.
They better be looking at them because a woman lost her life tonight because they thought they could overturn the government.
That's right.
The government
But you know why,
woman
Annette?
was killed. And let me just tell you this. The treatment in America for a black man is not the same as it is
No,
for a
sir.
white man.
No.
We
And
have
never
to
will
change
be.
that. No, it will be. We have to change it. It hasn't been. We have to change it. The change is in us. To bring that change to the table. And that's why black men can jump and reach across this country. And we're going to be sending messages of inspiration, how to beat those streets, how to beat the office. You know, at the office, the game is real. We're going to talk about that too. How they marginalize us at the office if we're strong, if we're confident, if we are not, a part of the madness. We get a reputation for not being liked. It's okay not to do the right thing. Your reputation is what other people think of you. Your character is who you really are.
That's right.
You stood up for 35 years, Albie. Your character stood up when you went and got that other job. See, character. That's what we're going to talk about. Being about it. We are about this thing, inspiring black men across the country because they, us, we deserve a fair opportunity. And the only way we're going to get that is if we send a real message of solidarity. We have to join together and be on the same page about uplifting a brother and a sister. And every brother and sister, every brother and sister. And we recognize that too. And so tonight is about inspiration for the black man. Give them something, Stacy. Tell me what you want to land with tonight. What's the message you want to send to the black man tonight?
You are somebody. Don't
Here,
give
here.
up. That's right. Don't ever give up. Because there's design in this to set to break down your self-esteem. It's designed, like Brother Albie said, to, want you to walk with your head down low, pants sagging, like you don't belong, like you
Yeah.
think you're not, like, they want you to believe like you're not smart enough, and we can't let them have that. We got to let them know we got to believe in who we are. Do your history, do your research, know who you are, know your king, know your royalty, treat people right, do right by others. And by
Yes.
doing that, guess what? I'm not bringing no harm to anyone else. And in doing so, guess what? I have pride in myself. I feel good about who I am. If you have a significant other, or if you're married, I treat my wife or women, treat your husband with respect. You
That's
know, and
right.
it's all about that. It's all about that love, man, and loving yourself and knowing you are somebody. Because we got to get that in them. Because some of them think they're not going to live past 20. We used to sit in the room, in the classroom, and I'll say, so your birthday coming, what you got going? They was like, they're like 18. They're like, man, I didn't think I'll be here then. I don't think I'll be here now. And they're like 18, 19 years old, and it is real because they're watching others die. So we just want to let them know you are somebody. Let's look them in the eyes. Let's not just walk past our young men and our sisters, and they're speaking and they're looking like they want hope.
Yeah.
Let's give them some love. Let's let them know like it's something that you recognize about them. It's something that you see. It's just a how you doing, and it's a hello because they need that. They need it from us.
Say that. Thank you. Say
Right. They need it
that.
from us.
Albie, what do you want to land with tonight?
Oh, wow. It's so much. My thing is this: you have to know where you come from in
Yeah.
order to understand where you want to go. And
Yes.
I understand that I am from kings,
Mhm.
from greatness. And I tell these young men, you from kings and greatness, but you go out here and you do this foolish shit. You know, our people didn't do this kind of stuff. And I tell them you have to try because see, we have this crab mentality. And it's a sickness that's been drilled in us over the years and years and years of depression, slavery, depression, and everything. And I get jealous of the brother who's moving up, not thinking
Yeah.
that once he move up, if I stay behind him, he'll pull me up. I just want
Yeah.
to
Right.
stay in the shadow. See, but you know the brothers they just have to, like you say, all I have to give is love and kindness and understanding.
Okay.
And as long as we do that, because I believe in what you put in is truly what you put out. And you know, people are in like my religion is Islam,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the religion, it's the spirituality. And when I tell
Yes.
people, when you tap into your spirit, your true spirit, you cannot do wrong.
Right.
You know, I had an
Mm-hmm.
experience today. I was at a fast food place, and I
Mm-hmm.
went and I paid. I got to pay for my food, and the man said, "The lady ahead of you paid for yours." And I said, "What?" I said, "Well, listen, I want to pay for the person behind me." And when I left, I says, "Listen, I'm going to be back in a few hours because I work. You know, I work not far from here, and I want to
Mm-hmm.
know how many people paid for the next person." I came back. He said 24 people had paid for the next person.
That's what I'm talking about.
Unbelievable. And guess what? They
Mm.
were white, they were black, you know, and like I don't let prejudice and racism get in my way.
Yeah.
Because the way I roll, my spirit, like I say, the way I roll, I'm not going to be denied. I just refuse to
Yeah.
be denied. And that's what I tell the young brothers. Don't be denied. Because you lose today, there's always tomorrow. But if that's what you want,
Yeah.
you keep fighting and you keep fighting and you will find a way to get through it. And once you get through it, nothing will ever hold you back. Once you get through that first one, that's
Right.
it. That's it.
Listen, you guys brought it home tonight. I want to thank the audience for bearing with us during our technical difficulties. I want to thank you for sharing your experience, strength, and hope. Black men out there, we've got something to share with you. You are worthy,
Yes.
are worth it. All of it, all of it. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what happened to you, with you, or for you.
That's right.
You live well, whether you live bad, whether there was abuse, whether there was violence, that's behind you. How you deal with it now determines where you go from here.
That's right.
I want to leave you with tonight is simply this: nobody but you can get in your way.
That's right. And that's real.
Believe in yourself.
Hmm.
The women out there, lift them up. To the men out there, lift her up.
That's right.
Promise you this: if each one will teach one and each one will work with one, and if we will believe in ourselves first, Man, that royalty just overflows.
Yes, it does. It
There,
does.
it's there. I believe in the black man. I believe in his opportunity. I believe in his hope. I don't care where he's been or what he's done. The opportunity to jump and turn it around is always there. For the
Absolutely.
doctor out there, they're going to be on this show. For the Indian out there, they're going to be on this show. For the lawyer out there, they're going to be on this show. For the dude who beat the streets,
Beat
Albie,
the streets.
we're going to be on this show.
That's it.
Man who believes in his community, we're going to be on this show because the media has not portrayed the greatness in us. And so through Black Men Can Jump, we're going to do it. We have a host of different themes each week. The first week of every month is Black Men Can Jump. Jump, Black Man, jump. Can get in the way of you. On the second week, it's sister to sister. Collaboration over competition.
Mm.
We want the same things. Love and happiness. On the third week, we're going to be watching people who should be on the news, who they should be talking about. For example, Stacey Abrams. They thought they would overlook her. She turned it blue, baby. To Georgia, shout out.
Shout out.
At home. Shout out to you for bringing some balance and opportunity and hope for this nation, for this world, for us. Thank you.
Yes.
The fourth week is about peopling, dealing with people in our families. Oh, that's a story.
Mm.
At the office. Woo, that's
Mm.
interesting. At work and at play. And I am going to be looking for men to come in and join this podcast and continue to share their experience, strength, and hope. I am hoping that as we discuss, you guys will continue to host with me and bring it home. Bring it home for the brother who believes nobody believes in him because we do.
Right. We
And
do.
we're going to send that message. I want to thank the audience tonight. I want to thank those who joined us. I am your host, Annette. My co-host, Stacy Heading and Albie Rambough. We've got something to tell you. Again, thank you for working with us through our technical difficulties. Like us on Facebook. See us on YouTube. Hit share and subscribe. This is one time when we want you to put all of our business in the street. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you guys on the first Wednesday in February. Thank you for sharing. I'm Annette. I want to wish you all a good night. I want to thank you for your patience. And we'll
Love you, Matt.
see you soon because these men have something to tell you
Mhm.
about relationships and how Black men jump. We're going to talk about business and how Black men jump. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship and how Black men jump. We're going to talk about the office, the business, and that play, how Black men jump. We've got something to tell you. I want to bid you all a good night. Thank you again. I'm your host, Annette. Stacy and Albie, peace.
Love you,
See
baby.
later, thanks.
Good
Take
night.
care.
Good night.